What's going on, everybody? And I hope you had a wonderful weekend, a happy Monday. As we saw in OTC land, today was kind of slow. It was very quiet on all social platforms, not too much going on, not too much running, as far as news and updates and so forth. And I think one thing we've noticed is when it comes to, penny stocks, OTC market and so forth, a lot of things run together. Now, not so much in the sense that, this stock's going to run as sympathy, but when we start seeing multiple updates come from different companies, it really brings the life into everybody. They get excited. When things aren't happening, everybody gets kind of bored and they're just sitting around either collecting shares, just selling, trying to find something else, playing small caps. Small caps, hit or miss as well. But there's a few stocks I want to talk about today. Only three. Just keep it simple. We're not going to go into a lengthy, Chase, you're talking about this, you're talking about that, you're talking about this, and your shark and your Lego head and all that stuff. No, we're going to keep it very simple. So we're going to get into the video. And a bunch of them had updates today. One had update, was it Thursday or Friday, going forward, that I think is going to be really strong. Also depends on the merger. So, it's been holding up really well. So we'll talk about the chart. We'll talk about the other catalysts that are going on. But I'm really excited about these three. So let's go and hop into the video. All right, so we are kicking it off with WLAN. This one actually put a PR after hours stating that they have got $300,000 in private placement funding, really to kick things off. They've been talking about it on social platforms, Twitter and so forth. And I'll show you a little bit of what they've been kind of going behind the scenes, getting things in gear, getting things going. But what's special about this is, they said their first round of friends and family debt financing totaling $300,000 to support the company's working capital requirements to help kickstart the company's expansion and initiatives roll out in 2023. Successful, yada, yada, yada. And, Tony McDowell said the same thing. He said, hey, shareholders are number one. They're the most important thing right now. We want to grow, but we want to make sure it's not on the shareholders' dime. Incredible. It's not too often that an OTC doesn't take the Reg A route, doesn't do the dilution route. And they've been at this for a couple weeks saying, hey, we're trying, and pull it up here. Our efforts to raise capital continue. We have received MOUs from, some serious investors, 6 meetings, yada, yada, yada. Mock-ups are ready for next week for the new website. So they're really kicking things off. But the thing that I really like about this is, one, non-dilutive, hopefully. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more, but my guess it's probably going to be preferred shares, restricted for a year, what have you. But if you look on this, as far as what they wanted to accomplish, as you can see, all these different catalysts, from a website, refresh branding, audit, contract, shelf status, OTCQB, new office funding, no dilution, certification, and so forth. And you see TM, Tony McDowell. It seemed like they wanted to get that out of the way first. They wanted to get the private placement done. Then they can open up the floodgates as far as news, contracts. They've hinted it a lot with Nokia and so forth. So this one could be really exciting going forward. Now that they got that out of the way, I think it could really start to climb. Just looking at the chart here, gorgeous. I mean, look at this thing. It had its big move, churn, and then same thing, another big move, and then a nice little wedge forming here. But you can see right here at the 200 MA, it's 0048. And really, all these bottom wicks, down around 005, like this thing is bottom. It is bone bare bottom. It's chilling, it's relaxing, and it is ready for news, to which it got after hours. So let's see if they continue with that update and bring more, whether this week or next week. But I think that is a really good start. So really excited for them. I know a lot of the shareholders that are long are really happy with that. So let's go on to the next one. Next one's GMZP. We talked about it previously. And the thing that I like about this one is the CEO. It checks all the boxes. It's right now non-dilutive, as far as a shell. There's no current debt, no dilution, all that good stuff. It made a big move already from 1415 all the way up to 80s, 90. And it always has trouble in that area. Looking at the yearly chart, I think it had trouble around 009 before. So it seems to be like either a mental big resistance area. But, it's humming right around the 8 MA. If this thing falls, it could fall down pretty hard. But, there's a lot of updates coming. And I'll pull up their Twitter, which was really exciting as well. but this came out on Friday. The MOMO list was ordered, which was the last of OTCM's items requested during review. Once approved, anticipate going full throttle. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So, if you've seen, Steve Carnes and his previous companies or companies he's merged, he's very active, looks out after shareholders, kind of like WLAN. But, any CEO that says, hey, after we get this list, we're going full throttle. So expect lots of news to come in. So it's being held up. A lot of people are absorbing any dips. It's just relaxing in 70s, looking at the chart. And it did get really hot. RSI still in the 70s, so it's warm. It ain't. They'll say it's overbought, but this thing could run for days, weeks, before consolidating again. So it's nice to see a little churn here, maybe a couple more days, and then let's hit it. So excited for that one. Excited to see what he is going to bring in. It said in the PR that he's pretty excited about as well. Then the last one we're going to talk about today, like I said, we're going to keep it simple. We're not going to go on a 20-minute video. Is GTII. Same thing. Cover this one. I'm like, I absolutely love this thing because of the amount of catalysts it has. It has 1-800 lawyers closing, and it also has all the short court dates and so forth. Now that may not pertain exactly to them and say, hey, you're going to win this out of this, but it's a good win for shareholders. It's really what drove this movement. Of the quote unquote short squeeze. And, just looking at the actual chart, this thing hit like $9, maybe a little bit more, not too long ago. And then, churned through some warrants and so forth. But, this chart is awesome. So if you can get some 150s, 170s, whatever, between that range, it should hold up because they announced today, look here, this is massive news, that on April 15th, as far as the record date, they're issuing a 1-for-10 dividend. So for every 10 shares you have, you're going to get an extra share. So I'm anticipating this thing running up. But remember, I've covered in all the videos, not a financial advisor. Don't take anything I say as, a solicit to buy. It's just a trade idea, for traders out there just looking for something to possibly trade. So, I'm expecting a lot of volume. They do have those warrants, April 8th, that need to be cashed at like 275. So this thing could make the trip. This could see a really big move. So I'm really excited about this one. We'll cover it more as we get into April. We only got a couple of weeks left before this thing probably really starts taking off. Same thing looking at the chart. This thing is awesome. So, recently in the past month, month and a half, tested 3. Let's see if we can do it again. So just wanted to keep it simple. WLAN finally got their private placement financing, $300,000, ready to kick things off. Let's get that one moving. GMZP, get that MOMO list in, and it's go time. As Steve said, full throttle coming. And then GTII, one of the biggest catalysts, closing the acquisition, April 1st or before. Then you have the dividends coming. Really excited about these 3. So just wanted to share them with you guys. So have a good evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.